All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, where the Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen is presently on a state visit to India. Her three-day maiden visit is being touted as a way to consolidate New Delhi and Copenhagen's future ties. Frederiksen was formally welcomed with a ceremonial reception at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, and also Meenakshi Lekhi were in attendance. The Danish Prime Minister made a brief statement about the Indian government's very strong commitment towards green strategic partnership. Listen in to what she had to say.
We consider India as a very close partner to Denmark, and therefore I see this visit as a milestone for our bilateral contacts and for our cooperation. Last year, Prime Minister Modi and I were able to design and agree on a green strategic partnership. And today, gladly we can meet here in Delhi to be more concrete when it comes to renewables, when it comes to wind, and when it comes to water. And what we see is a very ambitious Indian government who really wants to take a great responsibility when it comes to the green transition in India and in the world. And I am very glad that we are able to have a cooperation about the green transition.
Now, after her visit to the presidential house, the Danish Prime Minister also headed to Rajghat. She paid a solemn tribute to Mahatma Gandhi by laying a wreath in his honor. And she was also presented with books and a statue of India's father of the nation.
So this side, please.
Frederiksen then had an in-person meeting with the Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Later in the day today, she also has other key meetings that are lined up. In about half an hour from now, Frederiksen will be meeting with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Issues such as climate, energy, water and green finance will of course be on top of the agenda for the in-person summit with the Indian Prime Minister. And then at about 12:30 this afternoon, both the heads of the state, heads of the government will be holding a joint press briefing. These 3 days are going to be pretty important for both nations. Historically, Denmark and India have shared a very strong relationship, especially on the people-to-people front. More than 200 Danish companies are present in India, and at least about 60 Indian companies have a presence in Denmark. Both countries also have strong collaboration in the fields of renewable energy, green technologies, etc. And the Indian government's push for smart cities and also a greener future has been particularly appreciated by Denmark. WION Siddhant Sibbal has been tracking the story very closely for us and has sent us this report. Take a look.
The Denmark Prime Minister was given a guard of honor here at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and this essentially starts the visit that will see key focus on climate change like issues. We know that Denmark and India has a green strategic partnership that was agreed on last year, and today when both the leaders will be sitting together, they will be focusing on more constructive and concrete outcomes on the green strategic partnership, which is unique to this relationship. But this visit, in a sense, begins the in-person meetings here in Delhi of heads of governments. This is the first heads of government visit here in Delhi after a gap of 20 months. The last visit was by the president of Myanmar way back in February of last year. And we know that because of the COVID pandemic, visits could not happen. Delhi is a very busy capital in terms of diplomacy, and we can now expect more visits in coming few months. And of course, yes, a lot of visits are lined up in the next 3 months of this year. With video journalist Chandrasekhar, Siddhant Sibbal for WION at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.